Good evening, people. Thank you for coming. We're going to initiate the evening with a dance by Sean Chulbara. And after that, we'll have a ceremony and introduce the activities for the evening. Thank you.
My name is Sean Chulbara, and I'm originally from North Queensland, but thanks for inviting me here to your graduation party and your Christmas party and that, and I just thought, anyway, thanks for inviting me here to, get me to do a little bit of a performance here. I'm going to actually finish off with one quick dance, and then I'm going over to do SBS's Christmas party as well, yeah? So I wish I could have stayed on, but never mind. That's the problem, yeah? The good thing that I got work. But anyway. I just wanted to share with you a quick song, which is about a huge mountain just outside of Cairns, a place called Gordonvale. And that's why you'll never find North Queensland Aboriginal people in Egypt, because there's no need for us to go to Egypt, look at pyramids. We have our own pyramid up there. And they actually call it in English language Walsh's Pyramid. I'm not sure the history of who Walsh is, but he's probably a farmer in that region there. And in our language, it's known as a jarugan, mongan, which means it's a long time ago there was nothing there, and these birds flew over. There's these small brown birds the size of a fowl or chook. They call them jarugan bird because they sing out jarugan. He's a real high squeaky voice, mine a bit croaky, but anyway. They call him in English language an orange-legged scrubman bird because he got orange legs. So they call him orange-legged bird, yeah? So it's a good name for him. But we call this, they believe this story about these birds flew over and built their nest. And if you look through the rainforest in central Queensland all the way up and parts around Gosford and that, you find these turkey nests. And they're the same nest. You've got turkey nests, mallee fowls, jarugan bird. They build the same nest where they build a huge mound. Sometimes small mounds, really, really high mounds. And what you do when you find these nests is you can dig in there and you can find the eggs. And there could be about 20 eggs in there. So, you know, you don't grab all 20. You're not allowed to be greedy. You just take what you need. So just take maybe 1 or 6 eggs, you know. Might be grandma, granddad, might want something, yeah? So you take a couple. And before you take a couple and dig in that nest and waste half an hour of your precious time of digging this huge hole into these nests, because the eggs can be laid down to almost a meter in depth. So before you dig in there, you've got to look at the white gum trees. And the white gum trees have flowers on them all around. So these flowers indicate and explain to us when these foods are ready. So the white gum tree flowers, and he tells us that jarugan eggs or bambu is ready. So you dig in that nest. So you soon learn that when you learn about this sort of stuff, you soon learn that you're just a keeper of it. You know, humans or people are the keepers of the bush, and you soon learn that the bush is the boss, not George W. Bush, but the native bush, okay? And so I wanted to quickly share with you this dance about a jarugan bird, how he's building his nest and covering leaves and all that, but he waits for the certain time after winter, waits till the skies clear up, and then he builds his nest, because during winter, if you put your hand in there, you're likely to get something to bite your hand off there. It might be a python sleeping, so he hibernates and uses his nest. So I'll quickly do this dance here. And about the jarugan bird building his nest. Anyway, this music you're going to listen to was recorded at a place called Warramie, which was an old corroboree ground up in North Queensland. And my dad's brothers, he's dancing in this corroboree as well, yeah? So people like Jimmy Murray and all these old people from the rainforest, they're all the songmen for these, Georgie Watson and stuff like that. So a lot of these old people naturally they're all gone now because they're so old. But anyway, I'll let this CD play here, and I'll do the dance action for you. Thank you. Yeah, go away. Wait, one first thing before I quickly do it, thank you, and also I like to respect the people of the land here as well, and their ancestry is here as well. Thank you.
We'd like to thank also all the performers tonight. I'm going to announce first of all, first I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and announce the beginning of the party. It's Rock the End, and it's called Rock the End for a number of reasons. Rock the End is the end of the year, and what we'd like to do is sort of review what the year actually means. And what we've accomplished during the year. So we'll do that in a moment, and we'll also get a sense of what is new, the end of something and the beginning of something new. So that's we'll do that in a moment. And but before we do that, I just thought we'd have Richard and Dr. Greenthumb perform for us once again, an Aboriginal performer, and we're so lucky to have all the support from our Aboriginal brothers and sisters. So here's Dr. Greenthumb.
Thank you very much. You can see how much work we got in because both Sean and I have to be out of there in a moment, but our spirits are with you. My name's Richard Green, Dr. Greenthumb's my band, Bart Willoughby, Ken Cooper. I speak Darug, my tongue, Wingara and Wongal, Mipijadimi Wanyual, Bina. Yaran Yelidi. I'm not crazy by the moon, you know. They lock us up quite often. We're actually, Koori people are the most jailed race of men on earth per capita per population. Okay? Shame on this nation. Okay, per capita per population, we are the most jailed race of men on earth. Yet we have 6 Olympic qualified athletes. So what's going on? You know? And adults, we like to cause war and send kids to fight them. You know? While us big, brave men sit back and let children go off and fight them. Kids going off to battle. And it's just giving me a headache. So we can only sing about it, I suppose. Burn no midnight oil. There's a light so bright, so high, they say. No burn no midnight oil for blood. Gonna stay your hand, no price we pay. No burn no midnight oil. There's a light so bright, so high, they said. No burn, no midnight oil. Come stay your hand, no price we pay. Australia no more. Australia no more. Australia no more. Australia no more. No more war. No cursing, no fighting. No more battling on. And no more lives be spared. No burn, no midnight oil. There's a light so bright, so high, they say. No burn, no midnight oil, love. Come stay your hand, no price we pay. Australia no more. Australia no more. Australia no more. Australia no more. No more war. No cursing, no fighting. No more battling on. more war, no cursing, no fighting, no more battling on, no more lives be spared. Australia no more. Australia no more. Australia no more. Australia no more. No more war. No cursing, no fighting. No more battling on, no more lives be spared, no more war, no cursing, no fighting, no more battling on, no more lives be spared, no more war.
Now, before we go ahead with the graduation ceremony, what I thought would be worthwhile doing would be having a review of the year, because after all, this is our Christmas party, and it's also the end of the year. So, what better time to sort of review what we've accomplished over the year? Now, I should also say that we've had some apologies for this evening. Bob Carr says that he's busy, but he offers his apologies for not being here. And we do know some politicians are either present or will be coming. Arthur Chesterfield Evans will be coming shortly or later in the evening. And we have good wishes from Aidan Ridgway. He says, thanks for the invitation to Aidan to attend the JA Mentors graduation ceremony on Friday night. Unfortunately, he has a previous engagement and cannot attend. However, he sends his congratulations to all of the mentors on their achievement and to Justice Action for initiating the program. So that's Aidan Ridgway, Senator Aidan Ridgway. Now, before we go ahead with the graduation ceremony, we should mention a few of the issues that we've been working on during the year. Now, in order of we have a set of campaigns which we've been working on, and the top campaign has been the campaign centring around the HRMU. That's the High Risk Management Unit in Goulburn Jail, which has been the subject of the Shine the Light party not such a long time ago, and more recently we received from 20 prisoners signed statements from the HRMU asking for support. A very, very carefully drafted statement from those prisoners, signed, and to have a signed statement from prisoners who are named renders them liable to be punished and liable, in fact, to be held for longer in the conditions in which they're being held. And in fact, the area is regarded as being not in the correctional area, not in the correctional centre at all. It's an area like, in some ways, like the area in Cuba, the Guantanamo Bay, very similar. That's the HRMU. And so these 22 prisoners signed a letter asking for our support. And that's an idea of how much support we have down there in the worst unit in Australia. The mentoring, of course, we're just coming to a change in the stages of mentoring. That's our second campaign. The third campaign was the Inspector General campaign, which was maintaining the position of monitoring behaviour in correctional centres. And that was one where, in fact, they abolished the position of Inspector General, but we actually forced 2 debates in the upper house. And at the end of it, there was no doubt at all that Justice Action was being listened to very carefully in the upper house. And although we didn't succeed in holding the position, we have now focused attention on monitoring of corrective services, and the Ombudsman now has a much greater responsibility than he had before, of course not doing a very good job. The fourth campaign was on the how to votes, And people would remember, we actually defended the right of prisoners to vote nationally against the decision of the Howard government to try and remove prisoners' right to vote. That was defended. We successfully defended that. In fact, Justice Action and Prisoners Action Group were the only groups in Australia to present orally to the Senate inquiry. That's it. Thank you, Vancy. And at the end of that, we succeeded in defending the right to vote. But then in New South Wales, earlier this year, there was a refusal to allow prisoners to receive how to vote cards. We made a very, very strong defence of that, and in fact achieved success through Senator Aidan Ridgway. But there's still work to be done. The next campaign was the campaign for giving access to prisoners to Framed, our magazine. And that has been battled before the Human Rights and Equal Opportunities Commission. And Ron Woodham, right? Commissioner Ron Woodham has been forced to defend his position, to refuse to allow access to Framed inside New South Wales jails. All the rest of Australia except Northern Territory receives Framed, and we distribute to all the libraries, to every jail in Australia. To every library we have folders in every jail. It goes into either to the Commissioner to be distributed or directly into the libraries in every jail in Australia, except New South Wales. And Rod Woodham has been told a few weeks ago, how many weeks ago would it be, Stacey?
1 week ago.
1 week ago. 1 week ago. Ron Woodham was told by Heriock he had to explain why he was refusing to allow Framed in. It's on the edge of a decision. The next campaign is to have Justice Action acknowledged as a legal centre. Very important, because in fact down in Victoria, prisoners wanted to ring and talk to Justice Action, to our caseworkers through Greg and some other people like James, thank you, other people who've been working as caseworkers for Justice Action. It's essential that prisoners can ring from the jails and talk to our caseworkers. In order to achieve that, we had to have acceptance as a legal centre. We negotiated with other legal centres in New South Wales. We've been accepted, and I think it's yet to be completed, hasn't it? Right, but it's still in the stage of, we in fact have support of legal centres to have that status. And the last campaign, and in some ways even the most important campaign, is the acknowledgement of prisoners to have the right to work or not to work. We're negotiating with the Labour Council at the moment to ensure that prisoners, if they want to, can withdraw their labour. We were asked by the Lithgow jail to intercede on their behalf through the Inmate Development Committee in Lithgow, which in some ways is the strongest jail in New South Wales. It was the jail where during the campaign to stop the women's jail, that was the jail which actually stopped for one day, refused to do any work, and told the governor, sorry, we're not working because we are on strike to stop the women's jail being built. That was a courageous move. A move which in fact caused enormous furore in corrective services. We were blamed for it, of course. But as a result, the women recognised that the males were prepared to make a sacrifice on their behalf. A very, very strong political act, and that came out of Lithgow jail. Lithgow asked us only a few months ago to defend their right to withdraw labour if they wanted to. And the governor of the jail said, if you withdraw labour, you won't be able to have any visits from your family. That was the ultimate threat. And the prisoners of Lithgow said, sorry, you can't do that. They said, we'll go and talk to Justice Action about that. And we interceded with the Labour Council, got support from the Labour Council, and we're in the throes now of negotiating a totally new workplace practice. We have support of some unions. We're talking with the Labour Council now in some detail, and it's a very exciting change. And it's very carefully defined, and we have a careful document. If people would like to look at it, they're very welcome. And that's our last campaign. So I'll pass it over to Stacey to go ahead with the mentoring graduation ceremony. Stacey.
Thank you. The mentoring project was actually the first project that Brett asked me to work on, so I'm very, very pleased that it's actually come to fruition. And I'd like to thank you all for coming and sharing this historic event with us. It's historic because this is the first time in Australian history that people who've had contact with the rough side of the criminal justice system have had that experience officially recognized as a valuable skill. Usually when people acquire a skill, they try and pass on the skill to other people. But in this case, we're trying to keep people from acquiring that particular skill. Our goal is eventually to have no one to mentor, to have no one emerging from the criminal justice system vulnerable, damaged, and alone. But right now, there's too many. And the mentors here today are very brave for taking the first steps on that road. But you need not do it alone. You have the group here, the mentoring group, to help you. The most repeated phrase in the mentoring sessions is trust. You have to have the trust of the group, and you have to be trusted by the group. For this reason, I want to present the first certificate, and I'll have that person present the next certificate, and so on, so that the group can say a few words to each other about their commitment to this project. Catherine A. Armstrong.
Yay!
I just want to say thank you to Margaret, who taught us, and wherever she is, and to all the people that were mentors, that are now mentors, because without them it wouldn't happen. We wouldn't be the group that we are today without all of them. And also a special thank you to Tony Webb, because if he hadn't have come in here with the idea to give it the energy that he has, we wouldn't be here today either. So thank you to Tony Webb. And that's it. Okay, so I'll present the next certificate, and it's to Brett A. Collins.
And thank you. I'm very proud to be part of the mentoring crew, and what a great team they are. And I'm sure that we'll do fabulous things together. And I'm very proud to pass it on down to Eric McCormick.
There's even gold on this. I hope you can spend it one day. It's a hard act to follow Brett, of course, you know, because he's such an animated person, but taking that as it is, we hope he'll dance for you later. I'd like to thank everybody that's been part of the group, and I'm sure great things are going to grow out of this small seed. And I hope all of us here will water it, not quite tonight after a few beers, of course, but, you know, in the future. Let's fertilise and water it and see if we can increase the number of people that enter this program with the ultimate aim of making judges realise this is an alternative sentencing project. Thank you very much. Talia Jezerski. It's like alphabet soup. I'm not going to say that again, it was difficult.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and a special thank you to Margaret for being such an awesome facilitator, teacher. And also a special thank you to Tony for being such an awesome mentor. And also thank you to my other fellow mentors. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the rest of you. You give such inspiration to everything that we work on. And thank you all. Also a special thank you to Brett for making all this possible. And I'd like to welcome up here Gregory W. Cable.
Thank you very much, Margaret. I really thoroughly enjoyed your lessons, and of course because everybody could speak. It's most important because I think 3 hours of TV has nothing on our mentoring. I'd just like to say something because Margaret taught us one very, to me anyway, lovely lesson, and that was that we should mentor everywhere. Who owns the problem? Now I just want to take a little bit more time than normal because I want to thank James. James has helped me during the year, the last few months of this year, and he's been outstanding as a caseworker. And I just want to thank James for helping me with the workload. And I want to share one idea with my mentors, who are all wonderful people. The word biomimicry means, where do we fit in here? Thank you. All right. And the next person is Vincy. Ian Fraser.
Thanks, brother. I've put in 19 years of housing and looking after people, keeping people out of jail. I thought, well, I might as well just do this course and see what it's about. I wish you could tell me how to teach me kids. Simon.
I'd just like to say what a fantastic group of people the mentors are. They're just the best possible group of people, such a strongly committed, diverse group. And every time we came together was fantastic because everyone contributed, everyone had something different to say, and there was always heaps learned. It's also such a shame that people that weren't here didn't get to see Margaret, because she was just fantastic. She was so personally giving and generous in the way that she ran the group. That was also really special. And same as everyone else, I'd like to thank Tony Webb, who really drove this program all the way, who made it happen, and for which, you know, we all wouldn't be here tonight but for his effort. So thanks to everyone. And it gives me great pleasure to give the next certificate to James Condren, who was one of the fantastic mentors.
Hello, my name's James Condren. I found out about Justice Actuary Mentoring course for the Beyond Bars Alliance, which sends out emails and that. I picked up an email, I came here, and I then joined up for the mentoring group, and I also hold another position as Director for the Council for Intellectual Disability, and I'm involved with their criminal justice program. And I would like to say that hopefully in the near future I will be able to start mentoring people with intellectual disabilities in prison and out of prison, and hopefully we might end up getting a group down in Wollongong to form a mentoring group.
Yeah.
And I would like, are there any more Wollongong people in the audience today? None. You?
I come from the Gong.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, I like to thank the teacher who taught us. I'd like to thank Tony Webb, and I also like to thank the Beyond Bars Alliance group for letting us know about this group. Otherwise, if they haven't told us, I would not have found out about Justice Action. And in 2 months, months ago, I started doing casework here. I wrote to letters to inmates in jails and that, and help them access services, and tell them what to do, and just let them know that we support them, and that I enjoy doing that work. And I also on the panel next week on the 11th, where we'll be running a workshop for volunteers who are training to become support workers for the criminal justice program for intellectual disability, and volunteers will be trained up, and we are hopefully they'll use mentors as well. I would like to call up, what's her name? Stacey, I can't read it. No, may well be.
Thanks, James. What they all said. I'm going to use my 2 minutes to do a song, so there. Australians, all let us rejoice, for Pauline Hanson's free. Unlike poor Hicks and Habib, still locked up overseas. While in this country behind bars are 25% of Indigenous Australians and all the kids of immigrants. And those who got caught with a bit of pot, it's not fair or free in any fucking sense. And we're doing something about that, so that's particularly why I want to thank Justice Action and the crew that did the mentoring course, and in particular, Narada She. That's a cue.
Eddie's got her mentee.
Yeah, this is my mentee. Thank you. I don't know what to say. I'm sort of grateful to everyone that had anything to do with the organisation of this. I've got a number one mentor here. He's 3 weeks old on Monday. It's Daniel. Mum's just gone to the toilet.
Stolen from the doc.
Stolen by docs at 4 days old. There you go. Yeah, thank you.
Docs don't deserve it.
Yeah, I want to call up another Koori sister of mine, Angie. Can you come in?
Thanks. I wanted to thank everyone, especially Nettie. If Nettie hadn't given me a home in the breakout house, I'd still be under a tree somewhere. And Brett and everyone giving me a great opportunity. And I look forward to a lot of you out there joining the program, hopefully. Here's to a new beginning. Dion Chevalier.
Thank you. I don't know exactly what to say, and thank you, Brad, Stacey, and the teachers helping me to get through this class.
My class because she has such a soft voice.
Thank you. I don't know exactly what to say, so thank you for everyone helping. Thanks. Anthony.
Thank you very much. Well, I'd like to thank Brett and Tony and Margaret and everyone The great thing about this group is that sometimes magic happens, and it's happened in this group, and I think it's a great thing for the future. So thank you. David Johnson.
I'd like to thank everyone for, especially the teacher and all the mentors. And I used to be kind of a mentor when I was back with my friends. So yeah, it taught me a lot, and I'm very grateful of everyone. So thank you. Dane W. Millerton? Malenta.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you, folks. Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody that participated in this mentor program. In particular, a very special friend, thanks to Brett, Kat, Stacey, and Greg. Where's Greg? There he is. And also a very, very special thanks to Margaret, who brought this all together and who persevered with us, and that we hope is going to oversee us move into the future. I think this is a great step for all of us, and I'm looking forward to working with all the unique personalities that are here tonight, and all the unique personalities that are out there that we need to mentor, and let's move together. The future, here we come. I'd like to introduce a very, very special man, a friend of mine, that brought this together with his idea, that set the seeds in action, Mr. Tony Webb. Congratulations, Tony.
Okay. What do I say to this, Bob? I've worked on a number of projects in my life, and I have to say this has been one of the most enjoyable. It's been enjoyable because there's a group of people who have been prepared to actually reach out into territory where they weren't comfortable, to actually look at new ideas and new ways of doing things, and to share from their heart in terms of what they've thought, even if on the surface it looked like it was the wrong answer. And the second thing I've got to say is that this project isn't over. It's just starting. Next Tuesday, we start. We actually now have to move into the next stage of taking the skills we've got here and starting to make them out in the world to make a difference to the justice system. So those are the two things I want to say, but there's something else I need to say as well. First of all, there's one person who hasn't been spoken about tonight who, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have this course. The person who sat behind the scenes, on the phones, making sure that everybody knew exactly what was happening, when it was happening, taking all the notes so that we've actually got a record of how this whole project was put together so that we could actually help somebody else to do it. So I'd like you to put your hands together, please, for Stacey Sheff.
What about teaching?
There are a couple of other people as well who, again, behind the scenes, helped significantly to make it happen. Trish Kenny from TAFE. And Chris Silver. Chris, who had a very big hand in designing the whole of this mentoring course that is now being run out on a national basis. A huge achievement. And then somebody who we have talked about, but there's no words that we can put together that actually convey the thanks that we really have. So Margaret, would you please come up here? with our sincere thanks.
Can I just say I feel so guilty taking these. I learn more from this group of people than they ever learn from me. I have enormous respect for you guys. I don't think I've ever taught a group like it, and just words fail me. Thanks. Thanks very much. Thanks, Tony.
Margaret, before you go, we'd love to have a photo of everybody all together. Would you come in? And Chris, would you come in too, please? And where's Trish? Trish there too? I saw her a moment ago. Can we? Yeah, Trish, come on in. We've got all, and we've got a photographer, yes. Can you all come in? And you've got a, yes. Can we fit us all in? You'll have to come in. That's good. You have to face again. There we go. Yes. Did you get everybody there?
Who's here catching the train? This is our great brush with the law, and she got caught by the ticket inspector for running one station down the road. So this is called the train to Scarborough.